A ceasefire was supposed to stop the fighting. Instead, within hours, new strikes were reported. Both sides accused each other of breaking the agreement, and fears of a much larger conflict returned almost immediately. Was the ceasefire doomed from the beginning? Or is this another chapter in one of the world's longest and most dangerous rivalries? Tonight, we'll break down what happened, why the ceasefire came under pressure, and what could happen next if diplomacy fails. Stay until the end, because the consequences extend far beyond the Middle East. The rivalry between the United States and Iran stretches back more than 4 decades. Over the years, tensions have included economic sanctions, military confrontations, proxy conflicts, and cyber operations, along with ongoing disputes over Iran's nuclear program. In recent weeks, the situation became even more dangerous as military exchanges raised fears of a wider regional war. Diplomatic efforts eventually produced a temporary ceasefire intended to halt further attacks and create space for negotiations. Reports indicated that regional mediators, including Qatar, played an important role in facilitating contacts between the parties. Around the world, many hoped this would mark the beginning of de-escalation. But the optimism did not last long. Soon after the ceasefire took effect, reports emerged of new military activity. Washington argued that actions linked to Iran or Iran-backed forces violated the agreement and justified a military response. Iran rejected those claims. Iranian officials instead argued that U.S. military action came first, forcing Tehran to respond. As accusations spread, confusion followed. In fast-moving conflicts, the first reports are often incomplete, and independent verification can take time. Different governments may also present conflicting versions of the same events. What is clear is that the renewed exchange of strikes placed the ceasefire under severe pressure and threatened renewed diplomatic efforts. Why the whole world is watching. This is not just a regional story. The Middle East sits at the center of global energy markets and international shipping. One of the most important waterways is the Strait of Hormuz, where a significant share of the world's seaborne oil passes every day. Whenever military tensions rise near this strategic choke point, governments, shipping companies, and financial markets pay close attention. If instability continues, possible consequences include higher oil prices, increased shipping costs, greater uncertainty in financial markets, higher insurance costs for commercial vessels, and more pressure on regional security. Even countries far from the Middle East can feel the economic effects through higher energy and transportation costs. What happens next? Several paths remain possible. The first is diplomacy. Officials have continued efforts to restart negotiations in hopes of preserving the ceasefire despite the latest violence. The second possibility is a prolonged period of limited military exchanges. Neither side may seek a full-scale war. Yet retaliatory strikes could continue if tensions remain unresolved. The third, and most serious scenario, would involve a broader regional conflict. Such an escalation could draw in additional countries or armed groups and increase risks across the Middle East. For now, many governments continue urging restraint while seeking a return to negotiations. Conclusion. History shows that ceasefires are often the easiest agreements to announce, but the hardest to maintain. The latest exchange of accusations and military action demonstrates just how fragile peace can be when trust is limited. As new information emerges, it's important to distinguish verified facts from early reports, since the situation can change rapidly. Whether this crisis moves back toward diplomacy or slides into renewed confrontation will depend on decisions made in the days ahead. What do you think? Can diplomacy still prevent further escalation?